Um, you know, you know, I got a lot of lessons this week. I really did. Trying to remember them all. There's a lot. He shows me at different times. And it just get this download. I call it God's common sense because to me that's what it is. But right now, that veil is so thin. You can see, you can feel it, you can see it around the world. You can see it around you. People. Stay good. You know, stay good. Don't be pulled in. The enemy is going to do anything and everything he can, especially right now. His time moves. Time was short before. His time is very short now. He's going to throw everything out there. Stay good. Don't be goaded in. Because what's happening is the bad ones, I'm going to say bad, I'm going to say bad ones. I'm going to say people that don't have the heart of God, okay? People that are going to have a lot of reconciling to do because they don't feel, the compassion and the mercy and all that stuff that God has allowed, you know, his children to know and to feel. Because everything, when God pours out his spirit, it's his gift. So not everybody has it, and we know that, right? We know that. The ones that are just stinky, you know, family members that are walking or I'm just going to say screwing over other family members, um, money, you know, doing all that bad stuff. But on the outside, pretend to be good people, you know. Um, they're doing bad. And it seems like they're getting by with it. Okay? Okay. All right. I'll give you an example. Bo, my baby Bo, who's 8, who people see the picture of me with her. She's my granddaughter. Okay? She's not my blood granddaughter. She's my granddaughter that God gave me. My daughter Tara just gave me this wonderful granddaughter trait. Tara gave me her, but God gave me Bo. Okay? Bo was born after my son died, and from the time she was 4 weeks old. Her mother was Tara's best friend from high school, who became my daughter. I mean, I should have given birth to this girl because she is my clone in every way, as far as heart-wise, personality-wise. I could not love her more if I had given birth to her. And we all know how much I love my baby Bo. Okay, I call her Bo. It's not her real name, but I call her Bo for my Bo Beautiful. Ever since she's been born, she's my Bo Beautiful baby, so I call her Bo. She was born for me, and she was with me, and Carrie knew that. She knew it right off the bat, so she let me have her anytime and all the time. And then I babysat her, but she was with me 5 days a week, and most of the time I kept her all night, and she's the middle of three kids. But Carrie comes to me and I talk to her like my other children. I love her and I don't see any difference. Bo is my first grandchild. I see no difference at all. I love her. She's, I love her. There's no difference. She's God gave her to me. So, she's a blessing in my life. But anyway, her mother, who I love, 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 love too. Well, her her her, her mom is very, they're all have a wonderful heart, but very laid back, doesn't like to cause a lot of stir a lot of trouble up. And she's in her mid-50s, and she has a sister that's in her mid-60s. Their parents um, had businesses, and when the grandfather died, he had quite a lot of money and put it in a trust. And then the grandma, right? So she had all this in a trust. Well, a couple years ago, grandma started getting sick, and thing then. Well, put it, but put the one sister, the older sister, the let's say the responsible sister, okay, in charge. Now, this responsible sister, she tries to keep up with the Joneses, right? She lives in the world, right? She works, at school. She acts good. She is around the what she calls the good circles, or does the good things, but her heart's bad. Her heart is so bad, so bad. It's all fake. It's all fake. But the one that probably isn't socially accepted, okay, as the one sister, you know, she's the good one, okay? She's got the heart of gold, and she loved her parents and loved her mother. Well, they, they put the mother in assisted living about 4 years ago, and then into a nursing home. Well, kind of a nursing home assisted living lately, but the older sister, the good sister, that one that's in charge, she brought her home to her house about 6 months ago, out of the nursing home. Now, her health's depleted through this time, so I was very shocked to know that this was happening. And this is like my family too, because I'm so close to her, right? So the minute that I heard that the older sister was bringing the mother to her house, first of all, let me tell you this: she's never cared for her, never taken her into her house. The other ones are the ones that's always moved in with her and taken care of her and all that. The other one, no, 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 no. So now she's going to move her back and move her in with her. Immediately I said, they're out of money and they need her monthly money. They're going to get her money, her monthly income, okay? So this is only her way to get her in, to get that in her hands, to do whatever changes she has to make. And then she's going to give it a month, and she's going to say she can't do it. She needs to go with you. It's exactly what happened. I mean, to the T. The mom was at that house for about a month, and she was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. She needs to go with you. It was just enough time for it to look good, right? Now, there's red flags there all the way around. She's never taken care of her, ever. So called my Carrie over to, Carrie is a nurse's aide, certified, and so she called her over every day and said, I will pay you this little bit of money, if you come full every day and take care of her, help her in bed, feed her, blah, 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 blah. So she did it. She ended up being there almost 24/7 and away from her kids, because the aunt, the older sister, she didn't want to be bothered, right? But I knew it was about the money. She wanted that money. Well, so about a month ago, 6 weeks ago, they got, maybe 2 months ago, they got grandma moved in with the good sister, the kind sister, the socially probably unacceptable sister, though, right? The one that has her 2 kids there, 3 grandkids there, very small house with all these people there. The house is falling apart. It's just, now, there was enough money there for things to be well. But I knew that money I bet you that money was gone. And I said, I bet you there's not any money in that. The older one had power of attorney, but they were both supposed to be able to get to the trust. But the older one told the younger one, no, I have to get it. You can't do anything. You have to come to me. So for 6 years, the younger one, who's in her mid 50s, has had to grovel and beg the older one for anything extra. I mean, and we're talking minimal, hardly anything. She just would she would never take a dime. She would never sell anything out of the house. She wouldn't do anything. And we used to say, you need to go to your sister. She wouldn't do it, even for house repairs. Goes to her mother's house. House air conditioner hasn't worked for I don't know how many years. How can you, just all kinds. She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't do it. She wouldn't be fair. She wouldn't be fair. Somewhere down deep inside, she knew her sister wasn't doing her right. But so the day the aunt brought the sister home, I said, she's in trouble. She wants that money. So then she moved her in, but there, guess what? Found out Grandma was getting more than everybody thought. Of course, they were taking trips, living the life of luxury, right? While the other sister, the sweet sister, is living a pauper's life. I mean, below poverty, like you've never seen. The older sister could care less. She could care less. She didn't care. Her 2 adult kids, she pays for their homes, their mortgage. She pays for their bills. She pays for everything. And they all have everything. I kept saying, open your eyes. It can't be over money. It can't be over that. But when you are, she's being bad. She's being bad. Everybody could see this. But the younger sister just didn't want to believe that her sister would do this to her and that her sister was doing it. So she would believe her. She would go to her and she would believe what the sister was telling her. Okay, fast forward to now. Grandma died last week. Well, now younger sister goes to the bank that told her many times before that she couldn't get any copies of bank statements, she couldn't see anything, she couldn't do anything. But now the same bank is giving her copies of everything and telling her, well, you could have withdrew money just like your sister did. Both of you could have withdrawn. Never do it before, but do it now. Okay. Sister gone through all the money. $500,000 cashed in life insurance policies, withdrawals, putting in accounts. I knew it though. I'm telling you, it was already written on the wall. $10,000 left. $10,000 left. Now, I said, you need to go get that money. You don't have to spend it, but don't have it, Well, see, the older one now is going to try to take the house that they're all living in. I said, she's going to try to take everything and leave you with nothing, and you have nothing. She has gone through every single bit of it. You know she's in trouble because of her moving the thing in. There's only $10,000 left. You know she's going for that. She's going to Europe in 2 weeks. Or 10 days. She's going to go clean that out. The good ones, so I call them Carrie. The good ones are so upset. They're crushed. Their heart's broken. Their heart is so broken by what this family member did. Because down deep inside, though, you had to know it. You had to know it. The one, she didn't care. She looked at her younger sister who had her children living there and her grandchildren who she loved, took care of. Here they didn't have anything, but they were together, and she'd do anything for it. Knowing they were in need of things. Look at Christmas time. It's my family Christmas. Look, they had nothing. Everything was robbed, taken out of the house. And the reason why they couldn't live in the house was they couldn't afford the propane and all the repairs. And so they all moved into the small house. When the older one, who by right it was their money too, kept telling them no and didn't open her heart, but yet gave every month to her own kids massive amounts of money. Well, it's all coming out now, and so they're brokenhearted. Carrie, she was mad, and so she was being led by the flesh. So she was just so beside herself, she couldn't stand it. So we had a long talk today, and I said, what the Lord's doing. You think that the bad is just, they're just continuing being bad, and they're getting away with it. Okay? And especially now, it seems like a lot of them are doing that. He's just letting them go now. Go. Do your worst. He's just letting them go. Because very shortly, those demons are going to be running the earth. Those demons are going to be walking the earth. And the Lord is going to let them. He's going to let them have access to those rotten-hearted, cold-hearted people. He's going to let them. So, if they're doing their worst right now, and you don't understand it, understand it. Let them go. But don't be sucked into that. Don't let your heart get sour. Don't go back there. Don't do it. Okay? Don't do it. Because guess what? On your end, what have I been talking about? Trial, testing, all that, right? Right now. Because yours is for your rewards in heaven, right? So you're overcoming another thing. It hurts. I'm telling you, you're brokenhearted, and that is one of the worst, hardest things to accept, especially that somebody that you love is so not the person that you wanted them to be. You know what? I don't care what we say. It's not that we didn't know they were like that. We did. Somewhere down deep, we knew. Signs were there, flags were there. But it's our hope that we had in them. We hoped that they weren't that bad. We hoped that they weren't that person. We hoped that their heart was not that cold. And you know what? We just found that it didn't happen. Reality was, and reality is, they are who they've been, who they've shown. They're no different. They are that bad person. Breaks your heart in many, many different ways. It really does. Because you have to understand, they don't care. They don't have that compassion that you have. They're not like you. And they don't have it, and you expect them to have it, and they don't. They fake it. They fake it. They fake it well. They don't have it. And it's hard for us to understand how people aren't like us. It's hard to understand how people can do that. And it's really hard to understand because you can't grasp it. Because it's so foreign to who you are, who I am, who we are. It's so foreign. But to them, it's second skin. Here's us, right? Here's what they want right here, right? So to get there, they'll say whatever they got to say. They'll do whatever they got to do so they can knock you over to get there. And that's what this sister is going to have to do now to get to the thing here. Well, she knows now something's up. She's in a panic, see? She knows something's up. But watch, she's going to go clean the rest of that account out. $10,000. The one sister didn't get anything. And that one is going to go take the rest of that. Because she don't care. You'd think she'd be feeling bad. No. I mean, she doesn't. The other day, she didn't know she was caught yet, right? She didn't know she was caught yet. So, she was making demands on the house. Now she's caught. But she doesn't know. She doesn't know to the extent she's caught. She knows that they know something. She doesn't know they know what they know, okay? She doesn't really know how much trouble she's going to be in yet. And she's still holding she's still walking the high road, you know? She's still in charge, she thinks. So, um, she just doesn't know that it's all ready to come out. She's doing what she's always done. Nobody challenged her ever, and she's continued that because the younger sister, the good sister, because she, we go through things in our life, and she for 10 years in her life, she did drugs. Okay, she had a rough life for like 10 years, and it's that guilt in that time from those years that she feels unworthy, right? And so she always thought the older one was the good one and she was the bad one, and because she did that, she didn't have enough oomph, to stand up to the other sister because of feeling so horrible of that time in her life. Well, she got to stop that. And the thing is, sister knows that. The older sister, she knows that's her trump card. She knows it, and she plays it like a fiddle every time. Okay? And it really holds nothing. Because I'll tell you what, the younger one, I mean, she's the good one. So, it's all about ready to hit the fan. But what she's going to be out there with, ooh, because she's going to keep playing it to the end. That's a cold, cold person. Cold person to do that. Cold person. I'm not even going to tell you about the husband 30 years ago, embezzling every dime from before the grandfather died. They had a big lumber yard, right? Big lumber yard. He embezzled all the money, and I mean, thriving business. Embezzled it then, and they didn't press charges. Well, it's the same ones. I've been doing the same thing. See, they have no idea who they're ready to walk the streets with. It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be ugly. It's gonna be nasty. So, don't let these people get you angered. Don't let them, because you're going to react. And remember, we react in the flesh, you know? So Carrie was like, I just want to go burn her house down. Well, I understand that. But you can't go there. You can't speak those. You can't go in there. I know you want to. I want to, because I want to, because it breaks my heart. I love them, and I see what's happening to them, but I've been watching it. I've been trying to tell them, but they had that hope. It broke my heart to watch them suffer. And then now Anne's going to Europe in 2 weeks. I'm telling you, she's going to clear it out. But boy, what does she have to look forward to? Angels and demons. Once that veil's lifted, angels and demons, you'll see them all. Not we, but I mean, we will be able to later on, but I mean, the people left here. That realm, veil, gone, right? And you can tell how thin that veil is right now. A lot of evil, So remember this, the ones that are going through the trials and the testing and going through this, it's another thing to overcome. And how you walk through it, and how you overcome it, and how you go to God, and how you fight in the spirit, not the flesh. It's your rewards. It's more rewards for you in heaven. And remember, you're supposed to thank Him for these. You're supposed to thank Him. That's what I told Carrie tonight. You have to thank Him. You have to thank Him. Because the good one is not the good one. And God's just going to let him do her worst. Go do your worst. Go. So if he seems like he's not going to step in and do anything, it's not that he's not stepping in and doing anything. He's going to let this, he's just letting her walk to her place where she's going to stand when it all happens. Okay? That's what he's doing. So she's not going to get by with anything. He's just letting her walk to her podium, so to speak, right? To her podium. And ugly things is going to happen to her. And those demons are going to be able to do whatever they want to do to them. It's going to be bad. It's going to be really, really bad. you're going through this now, know what it is. Know what it is. Just let them walk. Let them walk to the podium. Okay? Because that heart is cold. It's not, not to say that God won't whatever, he can do whatever he wants to do. But what I'm saying is, now he's kind of just like let you know, the rabbit out of the cage. So, I don't know. But don't go there with them. Don't fight with them. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I think we all have to battle something like this every day. You know? Not necessarily in that, what I just explained, in that way, but in some sort. In some sort we do. Don't let it. Fight in the spirit, not the flesh. Okay? Because the enemy wants you to fight in the flesh. He wants you to react in the flesh. Because when you do, when you start going down that road, it's aligned with all of everybody he wants aligned with. Alright? Remember that. And so, he's in control there. So you step back and give it to the Lord. This is what I noticed this week too. Is the people that I talked about that I ministered to at the hospital, what I noticed is no one, they thought of God as someone on the pages of a book. Someone that they thought they knew, but they didn't know, because they hadn't brought him real, front and center. They thought of him as someone who was unattainable to them, meaning they couldn't get him to work in their life, that he wasn't hearing them, that they didn't know him. They knew he was words, he's God, and he's on paper, right? But they don't know how to take those words into their hearts, into their everyday lives. They don't understand those are true, living, breathing words. Just like I said, just like I was telling Carrie today. When Jesus says, you have to give me everything. You have to give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. How many times do you read that? A zillion? Do you know? And then now we know really what he's saying. They're just not words on a page. We cannot maneuver in this world without him. It's not a fair fight. It's not a fair fight. The enemy, everything God allows, but God is all good, and he's got everything. But the thing is, the enemy has the mimics of it. He's got the mimics, the reverse, the bad of it, but can make it look good. So God always has plan A, B, C, D, all the way down. But the enemy has his plan A, B, C, D all the way down. Okay? The counterfeits. The counterfeits. We can't see tomorrow. We can't see what's out there. We can't see, but Jesus can. And he's already overcome it all. He's already overcome it all. So he's already beat the enemy. He knows the enemy. He's not he beat him. But we haven't. We have through Jesus. Yes, we have. We have through the cross. Yes, we have. But in our everyday footing, we can't see the attacks, right? We can't see. Who knew about the open doors and all of that? Look at what he's come to show us. But what he's saying to you, when I say to you, you have to give it to me, and you can't do it without me. Okay, you can't. He's got to guide you through it. Without him, we can't make it in this world. Okay, we cannot make it in this world because it's dimensional. It's spiritual. You know what I mean? It's the good versus the evil versus the good. We are not equipped to battle that without him, because we can't. So, in order to have a life, and have the promises that he has written and told us, we have to follow all of them. We have to follow him and do what he says in order to achieve the other ones in our life, okay? To have what he's promised, we've got to start where he tells us to start, and that is with him, and that is with allowing him to maneuver us through that minefield. So we don't know where to walk. We don't know where to walk. He does. We don't have the right equipment, but he does. So we know he'll protect us. So he has to protect us. So, he's got to walk ahead of us. He's got to guide us. We can't do it without him. We cannot make it through the minefield without him. And then when you truly get those words, you truly get him. Throughout the Bible, words like that we've read a million times. And we think we know what they mean. They're just words, oh, I got that. That's an easy one. I mean, that's not like that one over there that I don't even understand that whole verse on that. I don't even understand that whole chapter, what that one's talking about. But this one, I get this word. This is really easy. This just means this. Who knew that those little easy words right there were going to take longer to get than that big old confusing chapter back there that you read? Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? Because you got to do it. He means it. He truly means it, and you have to do it, or you can't get to the other part. These people they loved God, yes, they did. Were they good people? Yes. But I told you, generational curses that had been generational. They didn't really know God. They just didn't know how to take him off the pages of the book. They did not know how to get him from being fictional to non-fictional. Okay? They didn't. And they don't. And that's what I'm seeing. And they're trying. They want to. God has put that spirit of search and want. It's like they know. They all know something. And they're searching for something. They all know something's coming. Something's changing. And I think that they know that there's whatever their breadcrumb. It's their breadcrumbs they're looking for. But they can't. They don't know where they're at. Okay? So be their breadcrumbs. Be their breadcrumbs. Listen and know who God's putting in front of you. They don't even know what a breadcrumb is until you tell them. This was huge at the hospital with these people in my path. Huge. And I'm telling you, whatever he had me talk about was that aha moment for them. It was that understanding. I get it. It was what they had been trying to search out and understand and couldn't. I didn't know that. But God did. So see? No. They just do not know. He's so big. He's so big. He's so real. He's right here. And I was telling the one lady, I said, you have to understand. God lives in our hearts. God's spirit. Holy Spirit is God within us. God's leading you right there. But God's holy. You can't live with filth. In your heart, you can't live with junk. And junk is unforgiveness, hatred, resentment. It's all the negatives, right? It's all the counterfeits to the good. Well, that's where your heart holds everything. Okay? So your heart not only holds the good, but that's where it's going to hold the bad if you don't let it go. And we all will face bad every day, it will appear in our life somewhere. And if you don't learn to give it to Jesus and let him discard it, okay, it's going to rest in your heart. Well, it can't go both ways, because if that's resting there, he can't rest there. If he can't rest there, He can't walk you through the minefield because you can't hear him. You understand? You can't hear his voice through the yuck in your heart. It's too much. It's like a, you know, waste yard there. You can't hear it. So you have to get rid of everything that ponders there, that lingers there, that festers there. You have to get it out so he can come in and have free reign, a cleansed heart. He has a clean home. You understand? He's not living in that filth. He's got a clean home to rest in. That's what they don't know. That's what they don't know. So he wants so bad. He's trying to reach these people so bad. But they don't know what is required, okay, or what God needs for them to do in order for them to have that clear hearing and for him to rest there, to be able to have that free hand and to be able to do all the things that they are asking him to do. They're all looking for him. They're all just reaching out for him, for this help, for this word, for this whatever. And he's right there. He's right there, right? But they have all that crap there. So he's like, I ain't got no room for me. He's holy. Remember that. He's holy. And there's no room for him there. So you got to get it out. Okay? Because he sits in a pretty big chair. I'm telling you. God sits in a pretty big chair. Okay? And no other room for any other furniture in your heart except for God's chair. So, and I'm sure he's not the type to eat and throw his trash on the sides, okay? To live in that filth. You understand what I'm saying? And they don't know that. Share that with them. Share that. They don't know it. They don't know it. This was huge. Huge. They don't know how to take him off the pages into their life. They want to. They just don't have nobody to tell them. I mean, help them. Churches don't talk about it. And this is what's important right now. This is what's important. You need to help them find their breadcrumbs. You do. You need to help them find the breadcrumbs. And they need to get rid of this so they can get that. Lots going on. Lots going on. He showed me a lot. The video's getting long. I'll do another one. Love you. See you soon.